in class 10, we had done the nature of roots also. But this time, the nature of roots is a little different. That is, the rules
There
are
was three types of nature of
only,
roots now,
only
sir.
three types, yes. But here, this is a little different. That if b square, these are the rules. If b square minus 4ac is positive. Okay, if b square minus 4ac is positive, that is if the discriminant is positive, then the following are the cases. The first case, we see that if b square minus 4ac is positive, and also if b square minus 4ac is a perfect square, then we say that the roots are real
Real.
and rational. Okay, we say that the roots are real, rational, and also sometimes we say unequal. Okay, if the roots are, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0,
Yes.
b square minus 4ac greater than 0, then we say, and also if b square minus 4ac is a perfect square, then we say that the roots are real, rational, and unequal. Okay, if b square minus 4ac is positive, and if b square minus 4ac is not a perfect square, then we say that the roots are real and
Roots are real and irrational.
irrational and unequal.
Roots
Okay.
are real and irrational. Yes.
Next, you know this case, if b square minus 4ac is 0, then the roots are equal. This case is roots are equal, real and equal, in fact, real and equal. Okay, and if b square minus 4ac is negative, then we say that the roots are complex, or we say that the roots are imaginary.
Complex. Imaginary.
Now, what is the difference between complex and imaginary? See, there's a very small difference between complex and imaginary. That is, if I write, last day I introduced you to the notation of I, right, in complex
Yes,
numbers.
sir.
So if I have,
Yes,
say,
sir.
1 plus 2i as a complex number, okay, then this part is called the real part of the complex number. In fact, we denote the complex number by z. Okay, this part
Hmm.
is actually called, let's erase this. This one is called the real part of z. We write it as rez. Okay, real part of z. And this part is called the imaginary part of the complex number z.
Imaginary part of complex number.
Okay, so if I say roots are complex or roots are imaginary, it's the same thing. Roots are imaginary means there is an imaginary part to the real part. That is the only difference.
Hmm.
Okay, it almost means the
Hmm.
same thing. So uh, now some examples are given here. Just go through them. Okay, because our syllabus is huge, and these are very
Hmm.
irrelevant portions which are highly unlikely to come. So therefore, I need to just hurry a little bit. Everything I cannot cover. I'll cover only the most important parts. You can see the how they have examined the nature of the roots here. Okay, discriminant they have found is minus 20. Therefore, they have concluded that the roots are complex. Here you see they have found out the discriminant to be 25, which is greater than 0 and which is also a
25.
perfect square. Therefore, the roots are
Perfect
real,
square.
rational,
Roots are real and
and also
irrational.
unequal. Okay, and here you see that they have found out the discriminant to be 33, which is greater than 0 and which is not a perfect square also. Therefore, the roots are real, irrational, and obviously unequal. Okay, and finally,
Uh,
in this problem, you see that it is 0. This case you have already done. That is, the roots are equal. Now, if you find
equal.
out the roots of the equation to be equal, how do you find out the roots? If you find out the roots of an equation to be equal, then what you simply do is that you solve this equation. But how do you solve this equation? Remember, when the roots are equal, the left hand side of the equation, okay, the left hand side of the equation
Hmm.
can always be expressed as a perfect square. So you write this as 2x whole square minus 4x plus 1 square. So I've got my a square and b square term. Okay, now I have a square minus 2a b, which is 4x. So I've checked. This is my 2ab
4
term. 4x is my 2ab term plus 1 square
plus
equal
1
to 0.
square
That means 2x minus 1
2
whole square is
minus
equal to 0.
1
Okay, that means x
with
is equal to half comma half. So these are the equal roots.
half comb.
Okay, this is how you if you find that the roots are equal, then this is how you solve. Or you can use Sridhar Acharya, the long drawn method. Okay, so now we come to the most important part, which is your sum and product of the roots. So if I give you a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where obviously a is not equal to 0, then without actually solving the equation, how do you find out the sum of the roots? Okay, this the you don't need to actually do here. They have shown actually. See, if you take one root as minus b plus root over of b square minus 4c, the other root as minus b minus root over b square minus 4c, and you add up, you get sum of the roots to be alpha plus beta. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, then the sum of the roots is minus b by a. Okay, this you need to remember. Very, very important result. Okay, and the product of the roots in an exactly similar manner as they have done here. They have multiplied the two roots, and they have found that the product of the roots is c by a. So if I give you any
A
quadratic, say quadratic here in this example, say this x square minus 5x minus 2. If I give you this quadratic and without solving, okay, and without solving, if I ask you to find out the sum of the roots, then if the roots of the equation are alpha and beta, you will be able to write. You'll write, let alpha and beta be the roots of this equation. X square minus 5x minus 2 equal to 0. Therefore, alpha plus beta must be equal to c. That here b is minus 5, c is minus 2, and a is 1. Right? So therefore, alpha minus sum of the roots would be minus b by a
minus of
minus of minus 5 by a by 1. Mm, should be 1,
5.
which is 5. So without in fact calculating the roots, you have found out the sum of the roots, and the product of the roots is any new student who has joined.
No, sir. Yes,
Oh,
someone.
okay, alpha and alpha beta is the product of the roots, that is c by a. Okay, and c is minus 2 by 1. So the product of the roots is minus 2. So without actually calculating the roots, we are able to find the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. So this is a very, very important uh, result to be remembered. Okay. Next is value of symmetric functions of roots. Now, what are symmetric functions? Consider this function alpha square beta cube plus alpha cube beta square. Okay, this symmetric functions of roots. That means if alpha and beta are roots of a certain quadratic, are roots of a given quadratic. Sumit Gupta, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then how do you find out the value of this function? This, in order to find out the value of this function has to be symmetric. Now, what do you mean by symmetric? It simply means that if you interchange alpha and beta in this function, the function remains unaltered. For example, here in this function, if I interchange alpha and beta, what do I get? Beta square alpha cube plus beta cube alpha square. See, this is the same as this, isn't it? You agree?
Yes, sir.
So such functions are called symmetric functions. Now, how do you find if you know the sum of the roots of a quadratic? So if you know alpha and beta are the roots of a quadratic, you know the sum of the roots of the quadratic, and you know the product of the roots of the quadratic. How do you find out the value of symmetric functions of roots? If you know alpha plus beta and if you know alpha beta. That is the point here. And this is the definition of symmetric functions. Now there are some, you just go through these. These are certain standard symmetric functions, and this is how these are all the techniques of finding the this thing, the
Volume.
value of the symmetric functions. So example, if I want to find say alpha cube minus beta cube, where I know alpha plus beta and alpha beta, then how will I find? I will simply use the uh, a
Formula.
cube minus b cube formula, or you can also use the a minus b whole cube formula also. Okay, so this is alpha minus beta whole cube plus thrice alpha beta into alpha plus beta. Okay, this is by using what? A cube, a minus b whole cube formula. You know that a minus b whole cube is equal to a cube minus b cube minus thrice alpha beta into alpha minus beta. This should be minus. Okay, this. So therefore, what is a cube minus b cube? It is a minus b whole cube plus thrice alpha beta into alpha minus beta. No, no. Where did I get alpha beta from? AB into a minus b. AB into a minus b. So if you compare this one with this one, okay, this is how we are getting. And you know that alpha cube minus beta cube is a symmetric function of roots. But the next question is how to find out the value of alpha minus beta. Now, in order to find out the the value of alpha minus beta, you have to do it separately. That is, you know that alpha minus beta whole square is equal to alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. This is because you know that a minus b whole square. If you don't know, then please memorize. A minus b whole square is equal to a plus b whole square minus 4ab. From here, I'll be able to find the value of alpha minus beta. And once I find out the value of alpha minus beta, I'll simply put it here. Okay, in these two. And alpha beta, obviously, I know. So I'll work out some problems to show you this. So I hope this is clear. Next is formation of roots. Now, what do you mean by formation? Formation of equations, formation of quadratic equations. Now, till now, what we have done is given a quadratic equation, you have to solve for the quadratic equation and find out the roots. But this time, given the roots of the equation, how will you form the quadratic equation? For example, if I give you a quadratic equation, uh, find out the quadratic equation whose roots are 2 and minus 3. Okay, then the formula here is x square minus sum of the roots x plus product of the roots. So here, what is the sum of the roots? 2 plus minus 3, which is minus 1. And what is the product of the roots? 2 into minus 3 is minus 6. So therefore, what is the quadratic whose roots are 2 and minus 3? X square minus sum of the roots x plus product of the roots equal to 0. That means x square minus sum of the roots is minus 1 x plus product of the roots. So what is your quadratic? X square plus x minus 6 equal to 0. Clear? This is also a very, very important example, important formula, in fact. Okay, and what you can also know is that if the roots are complex or if the roots are occur in surds, you know what are surd roots? You know what are surd roots?
Right.
Some roots.
Surd roots means the roots in which you have
Which means
irrational numbers involved. Say root 3 plus 1. This is a surd root. Okay. So the theorem here is that um, for a quadratic equation, I don't know whether this is given in the book, but this is a very important theorem if you are doing quadratic equation. For a quadratic equation with rational coefficients, surd roots occur, or surd or irrational roots occur in conjugate pairs. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is, suppose you know that any quadratic equation which is not given to you has a root, say 1 plus root 2. Okay. Then you, from this theorem, what you can say is that the other root has to be 1 minus root 2. Is it clear? This one.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
If one root is given and you know that that root is irrational, then you can write the other root. Okay. Because they will always occur in conjugate pairs. So if you know one root is 1 minus root 3, the other root has to be 1 plus root
1
3.
plus root 3.
Similarly, if you know that one root is 3 plus root 5, the other root has to be 3 minus root
3 minus root 5.
5. So if I give you a question like this, find a quadratic equation one of whose roots is say 1 minus root 3. You need to find a quadratic equation, one of whose roots is 1 minus root 3. So you know that the other root must be
1 plus root 3.
1
1
plus root
plus
3.
root 3.
So what is the sum of the roots? Is equal to 1 minus root 3 plus 1 plus
Plus 1.
root 3. So you add up to get 2. And what is the product of the roots?
1 square.
1 minus root 3 into 1 plus root 3. A plus b into a minus b, which is a square
1
minus b square, which is 1 minus 3, which
minus
is minus 2. Therefore, what is the quadratic equation?
2
X square minus
x square
sum of the
minus
roots x. Sum of the roots is 2x
minus
plus
2x
product of the roots minus 2, because product of the roots
minus
is
2
minus 2 equal to 0. Therefore, the required equation is x square minus 2x minus.
minus 2x minus 2 is equal to 0.
Similarly, there is another theorem for a quadratic equation with complex roots. For a quadratic equation with real coefficients, this time not rational but real coefficients. Okay. For a quadratic equation with real coefficients, complex roots occur in conjugate pairs. Now I'll come to the definition of complex number, the conjugate of a complex number later on. But right now, for the time being, what you need to know is that if I give you a complex number 1 plus 2i, okay, then just like surds, you draw the comparison from surds. The conjugate of this complex number, will be 1 minus 2i. Okay, you change the sign of the imaginary part to get the um, conjugate of
Other
this.
root.
Not yes, the other root will be 1 minus 2i, which is the conjugate of z. Okay, so some of the roots will be. So now
1 plus
that is what the definition is. Now I give you the same problem. Okay, if I give you the same problem, and if I say find a quadratic equation, one of whose roots is 1 plus 2i, then what will you say? You will say that the other root is 1 minus 2i. So therefore, you will calculate the sum of the roots as 1 plus 2i plus 1 minus 2i to get 2. and the product of the roots is 1 plus 2i into 1 minus
1
2i,
minus 2i.
which is 1 square minus 2i's whole square, which is equal to 1 minus 4i square, which is equal to 1 minus 4. I square is minus 1 because you know that I is root minus 1. So therefore I square
Yes,
must be
sir.
equal to minus 1. Okay.
Minus 1.
So this is 1 plus 4, which is equal to 5. So you have got the sum of the
5.
roots and the product of the root. Therefore the quadratic will be
Yes,
x
sir.
square minus sum of
X
the
square
roots
minus
x
2x
plus product of the
min
roots.
plus root 5.
Okay. This is a very, very important part. Now let us solve some problems from the exercise, the important ones. Now see here. So look at number 8. If the roots of the equation x square plus px plus 7 equal to 0 are denoted by alpha and beta, and alpha square plus beta square, also what is given to you is alpha square plus beta square is 22. Find the possible values of p. Okay, now we shall use here the concept of sum of roots and product of the root. These two are given to you, the quadratic and alpha square plus beta square is equal to 22, where alpha and beta obviously are the roots of the equation. So given a quadratic, we will be able to write the sum of the roots of the equation. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus p, isn't it? Because b here is p and a here is 1. And what is alpha beta? It is 7. This part is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Therefore, now we shall use this fact that alpha square plus beta square is equal to 22. Now, alpha square plus beta square is equal to 22. That means alpha square plus beta square is equal to 22. I want to write alpha square plus beta square in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. So, and you know that a square plus b square is a plus b whole square minus 2ab.
Minus
Minus
2.
So
2ab.
therefore I can write alpha square plus beta square as alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta is equal to 22.
Thank you.
Okay, and this can be written as minus alpha plus beta is minus p,
Minus p
and
whole
twice
square.
alpha beta is 7, which is equal to minus 22. So therefore p square minus 14 is equal to 22. That means p square is equal to 36.
6.
That means
P is 6.
p must be equal to
P
plus or
is
minus
plus minus 6.
square root 36, which is equal to plus minus 6.
6.
Okay, that is
Hmm.
one sum. This was the easiest of all to start with. Okay,
Hmm.
and let us now move on to these. Let us say if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, this one number 15. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x square plus x minus 7 equal to 0, form an equation whose roots are alpha square and beta square. Okay, you need to form an equation whose roots are alpha square and beta square, given that alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. Okay, so you can first of all, when you know that alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, you can write the sum of the roots as minus 1 and the product of the roots as minus 7. Okay,
Minus 7.
now what is the equation whose roots are alpha square and beta square? The equation is x square minus sum of the roots alpha square plus beta square x plus product of the roots, right?
Yes, sir.
So x square minus alpha square plus beta square can now, in if I want to write in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha beta, I will write this as alpha plus beta whole square
Whole
minus 2
square
alpha beta,
minus 2ab
and alpha square beta square
plus
can be written as alpha beta whole square equal to 0.
whole
Then x square minus, now we know alpha plus beta to be minus 1, so I put it minus twice alpha beta is minus 7, and this has to be x here, x plus alpha beta is minus 7.
minus 7 whole
Okay,
square.
so your required equation would be x square minus,
X square
this is 1 plus 14 x
is
plus 49,
49.
so x square minus 15x plus 49.
15x plus 49.
Okay, so you have found that this equation will have the roots alpha square and beta square, where alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. Okay.
Mm.
See the next one. If alpha beta are the roots of the equation, find the equation whose roots are alpha plus 1 and beta plus 1. This is the easiest actually. Given equation is 2x square plus 3x plus 2
Plus 3x
to
plus
0.
2 equal to
And
0.
alpha beta are the roots of the equation.
Fine.
You can write the sum of the roots as alpha plus beta is minus 3 by 2 and alpha beta is 2 by 2, which is 1.
4.
Okay. So required equation is x square minus sum of the roots. What are the roots you have to find? Alpha plus 1 and beta plus 1. So alpha plus 1 plus beta plus 1. Sum
Beta
of the
plus 1.
roots x plus
Hmm.
product of the roots.
Product.
So that means x square minus, you can write this as alpha plus beta plus 2 x, and you can multiply this to write this as alpha plus beta plus 1 equal to 0. Now you put the values. X square minus alpha plus beta is minus 3 by 2 plus 2 x plus alpha beta is 1 plus minus 3 by 2 plus 1 equal to 0. That means x square minus, take the LCM here, you will get 1 by 1 half, I think, half x, and you take the LCM here. In fact, you get 2 minus 3 by 2 first. Okay. So that means this becomes x square minus half x plus 4 minus 3 half is 0. Now again you take the LCM, you get 2x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. That means 2x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0 is the required equation. Okay, see, I had got the answer here only in this step, but I have just removed the fractional coefficients. That is what I have done. Okay, find the equation whose roots are alpha by beta and beta by alpha. This next one. The given equation is, find the equation, given equation is x square plus 2x plus 3. The roots of this equation are alpha and beta. Okay, so therefore what is the sum of the roots? Alpha plus beta is minus 2. And what is alpha beta? Alpha beta is 3. You need to find the equation whose roots are alpha by beta and beta by alpha. So x square minus sum of the roots x plus product of the roots. This is the required equation whose roots are alpha by beta and beta by alpha. So x square minus, now you take the LCM, alpha beta. So this will become alpha square plus beta square x. And this all will cancel. Give you 1 only. So x square minus alpha square plus beta square in terms of alpha plus beta will be alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta divided by alpha beta x plus 1 equal to 0. So x square minus alpha plus beta is minus 2 square minus 2 into 3 divided by 3 into x plus 1. Now you simplify to get your answer. Now you see whatever functions that you, whatever this you are getting, see that alpha by beta, the roots are alpha by beta and beta by alpha. Okay, when you take the sum of the roots, you get a symmetric function, alpha by beta plus beta by alpha. This is a symmetric function, isn't it? Because if you interchange alpha and beta, you will get the same function. If I interchange alpha and beta, I'll get beta by alpha plus alpha by beta, which is the same. These two are same. So therefore, whatever the sum of the roots that you get, are actually symmetric functions. Even the product of the roots are symmetric functions. Okay, because if you take the product alpha by beta into beta by alpha, which is equal to 1, and 1 is a symmetric function. Okay, so that is what you need to observe. That is the sum of the root that you are getting is a symmetric function, and also the product of the root that you are getting is a symmetric function. Let us now move on to a little other type of problems apart from these. Uh, look at number this one 25. The roots of the equation px square minus twice p plus 2x plus 3p is equal to 0 are alpha and beta. So clearly the roots of the equation are alpha and beta. Also given is that alpha minus beta is equal to 2. You need to calculate the value of alpha, beta and p. That means you need to find out the roots and you also need to calculate the value of p. Okay. Now if alpha and beta are the roots of this equation, therefore what is the sum of the roots? Alpha plus beta is equal to twice p plus 2 by p. And what is the product of the roots? Product of the roots will be 3p by p only, which is 3. So p and p will cancel. Okay. So we have found out alpha plus beta and alpha beta, and also you see that alpha minus beta is given to you. If you want to find out the roots of the equation, you simply solve these two equations. How do you solve these two equations? You add the two equations. Sorry, this is not 2. This should be. Oh, first we'll proceed to find out the value of p first. Then we'll solve the equation. So you know that alpha minus beta is given to be 2. That means alpha minus beta in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha beta is alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta must be equal to 2. That means next is alpha plus beta we know as twice p plus 2 by p whole square minus 4 alpha beta is 3 equal to 2. Now we have got the equation. We simply solve this equation to get 4 times p plus 2 whole square by p square minus 12 is equal to 2. That means 4 times p plus 2 whole square by p square is equal to 12 plus 2 14. Cross multiply, you get 4 times p plus 2 14 p square. 4 p square plus 4p plus 4 is equal to 14 p square. Means 4p square 16p 16 is equal to 14 p square. That means you get 14, taking everything to the right hand side, 14p square minus 4p square minus 16p minus 16 must be equal to 0. Means you get 10p square minus 16p minus 16 is equal to 0. Now you can take 2 out of this, you get 5p square minus 8p minus 8 equal to 0. That means 5p square minus 8p minus 8 is equal to 0. Now we solve this quadratic. 5 into 8, 40. What are the factors? What are the factors? 4 into 10 will work? No. 5 into 8 is already there. 10 into 4. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are the factors that will work here? 20 into 3. If the factors don't work, then some mistake maybe I have made. Okay, so this alpha minus beta equal to 2 alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. Oh, this should be square root. A minus B is equal to square root A plus B whole square minus 4AB. Right? This should be square root. So this will change to 4. This will become 4 because I'm squaring both sides. Okay. And therefore, what else will change? This will remain 4. 4 plus 12 is 16. So this will be 4 and this will be a 16. So this should be 16p square. Okay, these should be 16p square. 16p square. Now if I take everything there, you get 16p square minus 4p square. 16p square minus 4p square. Others are okay. Minus 16p minus 16. So
12 minus 4 will be the factor.
16 minus 4 is what? 12, no? It should be 12. Okay. And now if I take 2 common, I'll get
6p
6.
square.
6p.
12 minus 4.
12 minus 4.
Yes, sir.
6 into 8, 48. 12 into 4, yes. 12 and minus 4 you said, no? So 6p square minus 8p minus 8. There's another factor that is going, but anyway, we'll factorize here only. 6p square minus 12p plus 4p
Plus 4p
to 0.
minus 3.
6p into p minus 2 plus 4 into p minus 2 equal to 0.
P minus 2.
That means p minus 2 into 6p plus 4 equal to 0.
6p plus 4.
That means either p is equal to 2 or p is equal to minus 2/3. Okay. That is what.
Yes, sir.
You have got the value of p. Now we want to find out the value of alpha and beta. How do you find out the value of alpha and beta? There are two ways. First is you substitute the value of p. You will get case 1 when p is equal to 2. Okay.
2.
When p is equal to 2, you get one equation. You'll get one quadratic, and in case 2, for p is equal to minus 2/3,
Minus 2 by 3.
you'll get another quadratic. So you solve these two quadratic to get the alpha and beta. This is one way you can do. The other way what you can do is, which I think is would be simpler, is you substitute the value of p in this. Okay, for case 1, you substitute in this, you'll get alpha plus beta. Okay, and then you solve these two equations. How do you solve these two equations? First add
Then subtract.
and then subtract. Okay. So I'm not doing that part. Okay. I think that should be clear to you. Sumit Gupta.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Sir, I will
I'm
do and
doing.
send you the picture.
Yes, tell me, Tanisha, what are you saying?
I will do it and send you the picture. Okay.
Yes, yes. You do it and you do whatever problems I'm doing, do it in a fair copy. Okay.
Yes, from your YouTube channel.
Yes. And one more time for one more problem because I have class with 12 also after this. So I'll do number 20. This one is 28. Given alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x square minus 7x plus 4. Show the first question is show that alpha cube is equal to 53 alpha plus 28. So if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, then I can sum of the roots of the equation. I can write this as minus b by a. That means alpha plus beta is simply 7.